This two-time world champion has established a remarkable record of 26 wins, no losses, with all 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated WBC lightweight champion of the world, Edwin Dinamita Valero.
Meet Edwin Valero, one of the most dangerous men to ever step foot in the ring. He had the fire, the passion, the power, everything it took to be a legendary fighter.
What a punch, what a delivery, what hand speed.
Born and raised in the rough streets of Mérida, Venezuela, Valero was different from the other kids. Play fighting with friends often turned serious. He had a raging, uncontrollable temper that needed guidance, and thankfully, by the age of 12, he had found a way to channel his aggressive energy, the boxing gym. Valero's intensity, punching power, and abnormal stamina had some of the most highly regarded boxing trainers in Venezuela left completely breathless and overly excited about what this young man could do in the ring.
The techniques of this youngster, I can see his ability, I can see the power, I can see the instinct that he possessed. And this youngster, and it was a matter of maybe polishing that raw talent and building a superstar to this kid.
Valero was a standout amateur throughout his late teens. He had a record of 86 wins with a staggering 57 knockouts, an unusually high amount for a young man standing 5'6" and weighing no more than 120 pounds. It was said that while competing in regional championships, he often knocked out men that had never tasted the canvas before, using his punishing style to close the gap at every second, never giving his opponent a minute of rest.
You sparred Valero too, no?
Valero won.
How hard did he hit?
He had just, he had already knocked out other guys, so.
In sparring?
Yeah, all the time. He didn't take it easy on you, He'd go in there trying to knock you out.
Everything took a drastic turn for the worse on February 5th, 2001, when Valero, now age 19, was involved in a severe motorcycle accident in which he was not wearing a helmet. He fractured his skull and had surgery to remove a blood clot. This injury was sustained prior to him launching his pro career, and it created roadblocks to major bodies sanctioning his fights. Valero claimed that his doctor cleared him to fight on January 17, 2002, and he turned pro that July with a first-round knockout. In this freeze frame, you can still see the shaved hair where the huge scar lies on Valero's head from the surgery. A man with such injuries should clearly not be allowed to fight, but that didn't stop Valero from obliterating his next 17 opponents all in the first round.
Edwin Valero, he's strong, he's fast, he's explosive, he's undefeated, he's got all his wins by knockout.
Because he's the best prospect to come out of Venezuela in 30 years. Did you really believe that?
Yes, I believe that because it was just vicious. Valero was...
Yeah, he beat him up all over his body.
Oh, he destroyed him.
A big step up in class in 2006 saw Valero, who now went by the nickname Dynamite, travel to Panama City to take on WBA super featherweight champion Vicente Mosquera, who was having his homecoming bout after recently winning his title on the road.
Panamá reconoce a su loco Mosquera, se notan los golpes de Valero como siempre con fuerza, pero allí intenta avanzar Mosquera, debe tratar de no descuidarse.
Valero came out like a man possessed and knocked down his opponent twice in the first round. But unlike the rest, Mosquera got back to his feet and battled hard, and to the delight of the fans, mauled Valero into a knockdown in round 3. This was the first time Edwin had ever been into the third round, and it wasn't looking good for him at this point. But he bounced back like a true champion and punished the Panamanian, landing big right hands after big right hands. And finally, in round 10, he got the stoppage that he worked so hard for.
Crece la posibilidad de Valero, que sigue conectando con ambas manos. Muy aguado el loco. Se iba a meter la esquina, Mosquera se metieron, pararon la pelea, se acabó, nuevo campeón, ganó Valero. Noche triste para el boxeo panameño.
Valero, now featherweight champion with a record of 20-0 with 20 KOs, was regarded as one of the most dangerous men in boxing. He caught the eye of superstar trainer Freddie Roach, who called him over to share a few sparring sessions with the rising pound-for-pound star Manny Pacquiao. There was no footage of the contests, but it's easy to imagine they were very competitive and explosive to watch. At the time, Pacquiao's biggest rival was Mexican super featherweight champion Erik Morales, who held a victory over the Filipino a year prior. His team also called up Valero for a bit of sparring, and this time it was filmed, showing Valero beat him down, breaking his nose in the process.
You can see the improvement, you can see the talent, you can see his boxing ability. Whenever he knocked out an opponent, he was always thinking. And Valero came back to the corner and he said, Joe, come on, knock him out. I said, just go out there. It's not just play with him. Well, you know what, Dougie? He went out there and he tagged him.
It's rare, though. It's rare. Somebody got knocked out in sparring. But I've been watching sparring for 15 years. You know what I mean? Like, you know, out here, world-class gyms. I've never seen a sparring session have to get stopped because somebody got hurt until that sparring session between Valero and
I think that he's one of those freaks of nature, you know, that has that power. He's like the Julian Jackson of the back in the days. All it takes was one punch, and he landed that punch, and the fight was over.
Back in the ring, Valero dominated and knocked out his next 4 opponents while defending his super featherweight title before moving up to lightweight to take on Antonio Pitalua for the vacant WBC strap. Valero's improvements over the last couple of years became very apparent, and he knocked out his opponent in the second round, showing once again his ferocious style as he landed 16 unanswered punches in a row.
In this flurry, he must force DeMarco to deal with this kind of pressure tonight. It could be the difference.
February 6, 2010, a 28-year-old Valero entered the ring for the last time. His opponent for the night was Mexican Antonio DeMarco, who was coming off a string of impressive victories and did his best to negate Valero's skill set in the opening round as he used his 4-inch height advantage to keep the Venezuelan at bay with his jab. Midway through the second round, DeMarco sliced open Valero's face with an accidental elbow, causing a massive amount of blood to seep from his forehead.
When he employs that, he's doing it in spots here tonight.
Valero with both hands down. Valero saying that he caught an elbow. Now he's got a gash over his right hand.
That didn't come from a punch. I guarantee you that.
Wow. Yeah. That is a major
yeah, there's no way a punch.
The blood only fired up Valero, and he started to completely take over the fight, landing vicious combinations that eventually wore DeMarco down so much he retired on his stool.
A marketing statement tonight to tell the world, you haven't seen me, here I am. I am someone to be reckoned with in the lightweight division, and boy is he ever.
27-0. 27 consecutive stoppages.
After his impressive victory, Valero announced he would be moving up another weight class to take on some of the biggest names in the sport. But before he had a chance, disaster struck.
Former lightweight boxing champion Edwin Valero has been arrested for allegedly his wife. The 28-year-old is a household name in Venezuela, and police have said he was arrested after they found the body of his wife in a hotel where the couple was staying.
Valero was arrested after police found the body of his 20-year-old wife, Jennifer Vieira, bearing 3 wounds in a hotel room in Valencia. Valero allegedly had told hotel security personnel that he'd committed the crime. The police official said that Valero used his own clothes to himself in his jail cell early this morning.
Valero left this earth, pleading his innocence, but I find it hard to believe. After all, he should have been convicted on multiple occasions for assault charges on his wife. His cherished position in his nation of Venezuela gave him a pass time and time again. He was friends with the president and could do no wrong in the eyes of the public, but his vicious ways caught up with him eventually, and he took it a step too far, destroying the lives of his wife's family and leaving them with no justice as he took the easy way out just a few days later. Or did he?
Well, you know, at first I don't believe that he'll do that for himself. I called his manager, who happened to be Jose Castillo. I asked him and verified him to him, and then he said, yeah, he did it. But, you know, according to him, he didn't do it. They killed him.
Thanks for watching, fight fans. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here. Until next time, this is Boxing Legends TV, signing off.